Good Friday afternoon, evening, wherever you might be. Victor, good to see you.
Hey.
We were off last week. My birthday was last week. I got a new shirt.
Birthday.
Thank you. I got a new
There
shirt.
you go.
So now I have a shirt to last for a year, so I can go buy another one next year, just because that's the way it is.
Wash it sometimes. Maybe have two shirts.
Two shirts. Oh, I probably should have two shirts, right? So I can alternate washing.
Yeah.
Yeah. How you doing? My name's Darren. This over here is
Weekdays
Victor,
and
and
weekends.
Oh, yes. Weekdays and weekends. I'm Darren. This is Victor, and we're the co-host of a podcast called DevOps Paradox. It comes out on Wednesdays at 6 a.m. Eastern. And when we're around on Fridays, we just sort of talk about things of the week. And today, unsurprisingly, we'll be doing some AI things live. We'll see how quickly we can fail. We'll see.
So surprising that we're going to do something or talk about AI. I'm surprised.
Surprisingly, though, I was going to say there's not a lot in the news about AI, but yeah, there is. But that's where we'll be these next few years, I guess. Sadly. Or sadly not. I'm not sure. Let's get into it, but so we can actually get to the fun stuff of the week. The last 2 weeks for the podcast, we had Ricardo Castro on for talking about the truth of CI/CD. That was 308. And then this week, we're starting, this is sort of what we're going to be doing today. It goes along with this. We've got 4 episodes, not in a row, they're every other episode, talking about me trying to start using AI. So I'm going to sort of peel back the curtain. Things will be a little bit out of order since we're doing things today. But it's like using AI agents for daily tasks. I will go ahead and say that I'm using it more and more each day. It's helpful.
Helpful. We can debate how much of your work should be with AI, with help of AI. That can be a debate. I don't think that we can debate anymore whether there is any usefulness in it. I don't think that debate exists. I'm sure that anybody can find it useful for something at least.
Karen, good to see you here this week. Just so everybody knows, Victor has some weird things going on with his internet or something within his stack. So if his audio goes away, if his video goes completely south, it's him, not you. Because if I'm here and I'm reasonably clear, by the way, I'm really close to ordering fiber now. Really close. I talked to my network guy. I'm actually talking to my network guys this afternoon.
There we go. You're getting internet.
Well, it looks like I have better internet than you do right now, so not a whole lot to talk about.
Something weird going on. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. Okay. The schedule for KubeCon Atlanta came out this week. In fact, I think it was yesterday. And I was sort of shocked. Like one of the first things I did is I went in and Control F'd the thing just to see what was going on. What is going on here? There we go. Oh, it's down here. And I looked for your name. And I only saw one. You're doing something with Mauricio.
Yes. Is that a shock that it's only one by me?
It is a shock.
Excluding Carlos?
Yeah, that's true. Well, actually, what do you mean?
The schedule for co-located events, which are now...
Oh, the co-located are on here.
Right, is not there yet.
Right. And then I looked for Whitney. And I saw she's on a panel discussion.
Yeah.
And I can't remember who else I looked for, but one that I think everybody should go to is, I think it's on the last day, which is a Thursday. Let me just look for it because I can't remember where I saw it. Where was it? I can't remember his last name. Oh, it is this one. Okay. Evicted. All the ways Kubernetes kills your pods and how to avoid them. Now,
okay, who's that?
If Amit Balkan, do you know the name?
Yeah, you cannot miss his name, his talks. Yeah, he's amazing.
So if you don't know who he is, he was the one that initially wrote, what were all the tools that he wrote? There were
Kubernetes and Cube...
the other one was, whatever it was. Right. KubeCon was the big one. And CTX? Is that what it was?
CTX, yes.
CTX.
Yes, CTX.
So if you're going to KubeCon, this is on the Thursday at, I don't even know what the time slice is. Anyway, go see that one.
Oh, yeah.
That's because it's before lunch. It's a slice before lunch. Because then after lunch on Thursday, everybody's going to the airport. I feel for the people that talk on Thursday afternoons. Depends
how you look at it. You can say only the dedicated are coming.
Correct. Now, we did not do coverage of the KubeCon EU because I was out. We are planning on doing coverage for NA because everything should be fine and normal then. Please, no more what we've had this year. And that will come out the week after that. So this is 10th through 13th, I think. Oh, this list is too long. It's just too long. Too many talks. 10th through 13th, yeah. So we'll be having the review episode come out on November 19th would be the plan. Why are we talking about all this? Look, November is not that far away. Just in case you haven't noticed, today's August 1st. I think it's August 1st everywhere now, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. August 2nd in some places.
It's 1 quarter away.
Oh, my goodness. Exactly. It's just over 3 months away, and you're going to be in Atlanta. Or Atlanta, if you're from there. And where is it? Is it at the, I saw it was like a convention center, but I'm not sure exactly which.
I mean, typically there is not one place in a city that can host KubeCon.
Yeah, but Atlanta can. That's the thing. They have multiple venues that could. Let's see. Let's take a look at the SiliumCon, CloudLog University, EnvoyCon, Kubeflow Summit, Kubernetes on Edge. This is where I won't be going, but this would be one I would go to. Because that's,
which one?
If I'm going to start using Kubernetes on the edge, or Kubernetes on Edge.
Yeah, I mean, if you're either in that business or if you're a person who likes tinkering with your own machines, raspberries, what's not, definitely.
Governo, Argo, Backstage, Observability, and a few others. Platform engineering is still a thing.
Still a thing. Oh, I think that actually we will have a rebirth of platform engineering next year due to the one who cannot be named, but has only 2 letters.
Yeah. Okay. So anyway, if you're going to KubeCon, schedule's out in case you hadn't seen it yet. Another thing was Tekton is now 1.0. Finally, after how many years? How many years?
It's been
a long time.
But that, I like that. I like when projects reach version 1 because they really think that, okay, this is proven to work in production. This is now really GA. That's to me much better than, I just started this project 3 months ago and now it's not 0 something, it's 1. Nobody's using it yet. Nobody proved it in production. No serious company people are using it, but it's GA. This is good. I like when projects that take versioning seriously.
Notably, the step action feature has been graduated to GA, which is probably the biggest one. And then, so step action to the V1 API, towards the V2 of the resolvers, investing in better observability and metrics. So, a little bit early, we recorded an episode with someone yesterday where we were talking about having too much data. This is my concern. We're going to have too much data coming from this. And I wonder what can help us figure it out.
If you're talking about short-term data, I'm in a camp of people saying you cannot have too much. Now, if you're talking about long-term data, we're going to keep everything forever and ever, and then that's a real issue. You need to be careful what you keep. hey, last couple of days, maybe a week, more data is good because you're dealing with potential problems that are unknown. So if I don't know what will happen, what will be the next incident, how can I know which data I need to resolve it?
Exactly. So congratulations to Tekton on 1.0. GKE is now at 10 years. Just a blink.
That makes it what, like 1 year after Kubernetes was born, give or take, right?
Yep. That's amazing. So whatever earliest was Signify. Okay, whatever. Cloud data store transactions per second. Oof. Up and to the right, whatever that means. AI for tomorrow on GKE today. Okay, blah, 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 blah. Okay, whatever. Anyway, 10 years of GKE. Which means that we're not too far from AKS and EKS being 10 years. Probably a year away, year and a change. I think they were about a year behind.
Yeah. Which ones? Sorry, EKS.
And
It
AKS.
could be more.
Think so?
AKS, it's been a while. I mean, we used COPS for a while, right?
No, that's true.
Until EKS came along. Then when it came along, it was absolutely horrible. So we kept using COPS for a while longer.
Yeah.
Now
And now we're not doing COPS anymore, I hope.
no more COPS. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised that the project as a project exists, but it doesn't make sense to use it.
Okay, and then from Corey Quinn, Amazon Q, now with helpful AI-powered self-destruct capabilities.
That
A hacker submitted a PR. It got merged. It told Amazon Q to nuke your computer and cloud info. Amazon shipped it. Okay, that's not really true, but it is sort of true. So
it happens.
this, I saw something. I did not check it out, but basically a guy was like, "Oh yeah, this is great. I'm hammering on it," and then it deleted his production database, and he lost everything with no backups.
Yeah, the only thing I can say is that whomever is using AI today with for software engineering in unsupervised mode is making a mistake. And if it was supervised mode, but it's supervised, I mean, you're actually behind it. You are confirming operations. Then I'm not sure how that database was nuked.
Yeah.
Unless there is a third option, actually. I'm using AI and I have no idea what it does. I'm just using it to create something for me without even having a slightest idea what that something is. Oh, delete command. I don't know. Go for it.
Yeah, what we've learned. Maybe vet pull requests just a little bit. Wild idea, I know, but perhaps don't auto-merge code from GitHub user 42069 that includes an rm-rf/ in the prompt. Yeah. Read this. Yeah, it goes back to what you were talking about. Unsupervised mode is not very smart today to do.
No, not yet. I mean, it is. I mean, it could be made to be smart, but then we're talking about your prompts being very specific and very powerful. So if you invest a lot of time in creating a prompt, /command, cursor rule, whatever you want to call it, that actually is really detailed enough that it provides everything that modeler needs, and you have some kind of workflow and so on and so forth. So it can be done to be unsupervised, but that's not just by using AI out of the box.
So if you need a good laugh or a good cry, go read this post. By the way, I did not get the links into the YouTube description. I will get them in after we're done today. ClaudeLog. This is it doesn't really make sense. You have to go to the facts to understand what it is. Comprehensive Claude Code FAQ covering installation, blah, blah. So basically ClaudeLog is just basically trying to keep up with everything that's Claude, because the Anthropic side is not that good at it. Right? This is just an all-in-one place to find out what's going on with Claude.
And that's
Claude Code specifically.
See from here, that's not Anthropic site, or
it's not Anthropic site, correct?
Okay.
This is just a guy keeping it up. So and the guy maintaining it is one of the mods at Claude AI. He's the CTO at
The other day
Command.
I noticed that my Claude code looks slightly different. Then I searched for Claude code. What's new? There is no such page, at least according to Google. Claude code releases. There is no such page. So this is actually pretty cool.
Yeah. Here's a changelog here. So this is like this is going to be the only way I'll be able to keep up with it, I think. So
yeah, and shame on Anthropic for somebody having to do this.
Third party.
You.
Yeah. There was a blog post around this. I didn't put the post here. I need to find that link again. Charm Crush. Basically, somebody wrote an agent, for lack of a better term, right? Using the whole Charm stack. Did you take it? Did you install it?
Yeah,
I sent it to you.
I used it. It's underwhelming, to be honest, in terms of capabilities. Like, I could not figure out how to run / commands, for example, right?
Right.
I could not figure out how to connect MCP right away. It took me a while to understand incomprehensible documentation. It's not necessarily intuitive, but all that is okay. This is just one of the first releases. So, and they know how to do terminal UIs. So from the UI perspective, I'm pretty sure it will be awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the challenge is really how do you make an agent itself, right? Ignore now the UI kind of. Will it be really great?
Yeah. So we'll see. So this will be one to watch, I think.
Yes. But now, wait, this is now confusing. Mm-hmm. Didn't Charm acquire or hire a person behind what's the OpenAI? No, there is a project like Claude Code, controversy.
The one that's out of maybe? China? Quinn?
No.
Quinn?
No. A guy started the project and then a few other people from some company tried to help him. And then they bought the domain, but then they owned that domain and maybe I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
My brain is just not working today.
I was trying to find... Oh, that's that. That's not going to take me there. There's a blog post associated with this. I don't remember where it is. So anyway. So it'll come to you after we're done here. Yeah. Two videos over the past 2 weeks. So this one I liked a lot. The end of infrastructure as code.
I never received private and public hate emails or comments.
Really? This one makes so much sense to me. The way you explained it to me.
I think it makes a lot of sense. I did not even prescribe what it will be, just kind of the point of that video is that tools will change to accommodate different way of working as they changed many, many, many times before. That's basically the message. But lots of comments are, no, kind of, my baby, kind of, oh, my Terraform, oh, my Ansible, or whatever it is, kind of. Yeah, kind of, things change. That's all I'm saying.
And that's why it was like, we don't need that level of abstraction anymore. And I've even been thinking, do we even need languages anymore? We do today, but will we?
Yeah. We will need languages. Depends how you define language, right? I can easily say that now pure English is a language how you program models. How you instruct models what to do. I think that we will land somewhere in between. I believe that this won't be pure English as it is now, but it won't be like Java, Go, whatever you're using. Something in between, something that is more descriptive.
I wonder if it's going to be more like those kid programming languages. You know, you know what I'm talking about? Not because a lot of time you see Python. I can't remember the name of it.
I used one of those that was mostly kind of browser-based, drag and drop. but conceptually probably similar to what you're saying when I was teaching my daughter how to code.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, is that going to be the normal language? I could see that.
We'll see for what. I see that something like that so right now I think that mostly application developers are in AI much more than operations. But I think that such a language will emerge in operations before it emerges for application developers. Simply because, okay, if I'm building an application, there is a lot. It cannot be simply a whole J.K. Rowling's book. But for operations, I can imagine it easily, right? Kind of where we would actually we're already there in a way, right? If you look at what we use today, like ACL or YAML, in my case, crossplane, and so on and so forth, what we really do is that somebody's building stuff on one hand, and then we as users, we are basically specifying intent. Oh, I want a database. Here are the 5 things that you should know about that database. Go and build it. That every infrastructure as code tool from the user perspective is like that, right? So we are specifying our intent, and somebody else figured out to translate that intent to tangible. And I wouldn't be surprised that is one of the first things that will change. How do I tell the machine what I intend to have?
Yeah, I can see. Okay, I'll step in it. The IBM acquisition of HashiCorp may have just become a really bad buy.
No, I mean all those tools are
it'll
here
still
to
be
stay
there.
for
Absolutely
for a very, very long time, and many of those tools will one way or another transform now with this new wave. I have my opinions, which tools are transformable, which are not, and I strongly believe that majority of them should start from scratch. But they're still not going away.
Yeah.
This week's still there.
Oh yeah. This week's video was, can AI replace your Terraform modules? I guess that's just a step from what you did the week before.
That's a very silly attempt to demonstrate without much effort the previous video.
Right.
There will be follow-up videos, stay tuned, that are in that subject much more serious.
Okay. Speaking of taking things more seriously, let's go ahead and go to the demo for today. Because I don't know what we're going to do. So Victor and I said this earlier, we were recording yesterday. I was like, hey, look, I want to do a live demo of Claude Code tomorrow. And, what are we going to show people? It's like, oh, let me tell you about this whole new, because I wanted to do slash commands. Like that's sort of where I'm at right now. Again, as you start watching the video or the podcast that came out on Wednesday, this is sort of, I'm 5 weeks into this now, or however long it is now, 5 or 6 weeks. So again, time will get sort of confusing here. But I'm at slash commands right now in Claude Code. But then Victor said, oh no, let's go do something else. And I was like, okay. I was like, don't tell me, because I want it to be a surprise. And then I asked him today, it's like, are you talking about subagents? He says, no, I'm talking about slash commands and MCP. So why don't you explain real quick what you mean by that? Because I'm still, so I know that much, and it makes sense, but I don't understand the behind the scenes of it.
Let's talk about distribution of, I'm going to call them prompts, because in Claude Code it's slash commands, in Cursor it's cursor rules, but they're all essentially prompts, right? Very well, that they don't have to be well defined. Defined by somebody in advance. That instead of you spending eternity typing stuff. So prompts. Now, you create a prompt in your project, Darin, right? And that prompt works in that project. And how do you share it with other people working in that project? Probably the conclusion would be, okay, let's push it to the Git repo of that project, right? That would be probably your reaction, and that makes perfect sense. And then you realize that there are some prompts that are applicable across the projects. Like hey, when you're done, when I say I'm done, and create a new branch, push the changes, create a pull request, wait for review of that pull request, wait for CI pipelines, and if something bad happened, so on and so forth, right? So you can easily have 500 lines of a prompt only for that. And let's say that prompt is useful outside of that single project. So what do you do after that, right? You can copy and paste that prompt into each of the project and push it to the Git repo for all of those projects. But then how do you make that prompt? Because I see prompts as being code, kind of like they're improved over time, they're maintained. So that's a problem if that same prompt that basically performs certain operations that are the same across projects if they are in separate repos of each of the projects. So you say, I don't know, let's put it in a separate Git repository and then clone that. If we all clone that repo somewhere and instruct our agents to use that shared directory on our laptop, and then we can somehow maintain those prompts and improve them over time. Did I forget to pull the latest version of that project because it's not really anymore the project I'm working on, but somewhere else it's pain, right? Now, one solution for all that is one of the protocols in MCP itself or endpoints is to serve your prompts, right? So you can, if you wrap it up in MCP and you just connect your MCP to the agent, whichever you're using, wherever you're using, and all those prompts are automatically available. That's the gist of it, right? Simply, hey, you connect to MCP. Let's say my company prompts.
Right.
And it takes literally, and I'm being very, very pessimistic now, it takes 1 hour vibe coding, and I'm being very pessimistic to have a very simple MCP code, vibe coded, built and pushed with a pipeline that will build it whenever you push new prompts, and that's it.
That's it.
And that's not a hack. That's simply part of MCP to serve your prompts. Does it make sense?
Oh, it makes sense. I mean, the story you were telling, we've had that same story for 20, 30 years of how do we have the common things that everybody can get a hook to. I mean, this is just the next telling of that story. And I understand what you're saying. Your lips were moving.
There is additional benefit. Let's say you're using Claude Code, I'm using Cursor, so your prompts are in .claude/commands, my prompts are in ./rules, and somebody else. No, this is literally standard MCP thing to serve your prompts.
Right.
One of the things that MCP does. So, and absolutely every agent can connect to MCP server. You can even host that server remotely, so that I don't even run it on my machine, right? There is a slight problem with that story is that not all agents fully support MCP, like prompts, but if it's not there in your agent, it will be soon because it is part of the spec.
Right. So obviously I had an idea of where we were going. You just completely kiboshed it.
No. The first steps, if your ideas was let's create /commands, that's the first step. Afterwards comes the MCP.
Because you need that, right?
Exactly.
You need
take those prompts and build them into MCP and create a that will build them whenever I push changes to those prompts, right? So if you just keep them in eventually move them in a separate separate project, separate repo, and you have them built. And all you have to do later on in any other project to just use the latest.
Right. So it would be like, okay, while I am authoring a prompt, I work just whatever if I'm using Claude Code, I'm going to do the Claude/command, right? Just to get it working and get it shaken out.
Yeah.
And then once I'm like, okay, this is pretty good. Let's go ahead and call it done here and put it over in the MCP stack. That's going to be served from wherever.
MCP when it's built, let's say that you do
when it's built,
right? when it's built, you don't even need to move them from that .cloud directory. Say, okay, so
that's true.
create an MCP server that serves prompts. Prompts are located in this directory, any you want, including .cloud, and that's it. Because MCP does not care where your prompts are as long as it knows where they are, so that it can package them into the binary, right?
So I guess that's where, because I haven't done any MCP server chasing, so that's where I'm a little not clicking yet. But
that comes later, after you have prompts you're proud of.
Okay. Prompts that I'm proud of. That might use. All right. So this is just a Jenkins plugin. And like I was working with one the other day, and I was coming up with and I saw an example of the prompt. Where was it? Anyways, like I was going to do a /optimize, which doesn't exist. Right. And that's just to go and optimize the code.
Let's do it right now.
Okay. So I'm trying to remember how. So I think you had to go through and do it manually, right?
No, you don't. No? Just give me the first thing that it should do.
Okay, so it's like give me a list of performance.
No. No. Wait.
Okay.
Start over. Create a prompt.
You want me to type that?
Create a prompt. .cloud /command /optimize that will, and then it's you.
Tell me what performance improvements. Yeah, see, I didn't think about doing this because it's like, where does the fourth wall break down here? It's like, what can't I do here? Like, what's not the, what doesn't.
What doesn't it do?
Right. It's like, what can it do? What can it do? And I'm thinking, okay, well, I can, figure out my prompt and then I'll go and create it. But no, it can create it for me as I'm doing it.
Yeah, because basically prompts are instructions how models should behave, and then you use the same model to create instructions for itself, which is what you're doing right now.
Only use features that are available in Java 17, because for now that's important.
There we go.
Because it might say, here's some stuff. Go ahead.
Are all the plugins, Jenkins plugins, Java 17?
Not all of them, but the vast majority are, because that's the base Java version that runs current versions of Jenkins.
Okay, then you can maybe change this sentence to say, assume Java 17 by default, unless I tell you otherwise. For example.
That's a good idea. So assume.
Of it iteratively, right? Kind of like, I would probably start with the first sentence you wrote, try it out, and then, this is missing. This should be different, and so on and so forth, right? I tend to do many iterations on a prompt.
Right.
Think of it as code. It never ends.
Right. But I'm okay with these two commands. Performance improvements, assume Java 17. That's okay, so let's do this, right?
Go for it.
Okay. My other machine, I don't have this good coloring. So it's like everything's just black and white. And I don't have it. It's like there's something wrong with my.
One suggestion is, just say yes. One suggestion is to open a second Claude from which you will be entering a second terminal from which you will be entering and exiting to test the prompt. Because I don't think that the changes to the prompt are available in existing session.
Which would make sense.
Or you can do execute and then give it a, then you get the same.
Right. Okay, so let's see what it says here. Well, this is a heck of a lot more than I would have ever thought to have written.
I mean, now this is your part. I don't know the plugin. I don't know whether it makes sense. It doesn't. Very often I discover whether it makes sense when I execute it rather than after reading it, but that's up to you.
Yeah, it looks, for now, it's close enough. So I'm going to say yes. Okay. And now
so if you were writing it by hand, I just saved you, at least an hour?
At least. And I wouldn't have written all of that. Right? I wouldn't even have thought of most of that. So now I can just say optimize. This is the reason why we do these things live. No, it says I can.
You cannot. It's a dummy. Don't trust AI for everything.
Oh, that's true. Don't trust AI.
Either
So I'm gonna,
you can say execute and give it a path, or
do
no, don't exit,
oh, okay.
because you might want to maintain this context for future updates.
Fair enough.
Second tab.
Second tab. All right. Okay. Oh, no. Wait. There's a way to do that. It's duplicate here. I think it's duplicate tab. There we go. There we go.
There we go.
And then...
And now just run Claude here, and you have slightly optimized. And after you change, you exit, go back in this tab, right?
Right. This is the one I can exit and come back and forth, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
I have, by the way, I have one of my prompts is how to save the context and how to load the context. So I can do it in the same tab, but that would be separate.
Got it.
Optimize.
Yep. There it is. So if I do this, now I've actually already done work on this one, so it may not find anything. I can't remember. I've been doing work on like 4 plugins, and I've been doing things by hand, right? So this is the first time sort of trying to capture it.
Yeah. Very often, eventually, I end up with a similar... You see those to-dos? I end up with having similar to-dos in the prompt to enforce certain tasks.
To make sure it's covered.
This,
yeah.
And do that. Analyze the code. Check for this. Do that. Blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Present it in this format and so on and so forth. That's a lot here.
Yeah, there's a lot of hurry up and wait. As I told somebody the other day, this is the code's compiling.
Yeah. I mean, I usually end up thinking of what I'm going to do next while this is happening. Or what you mentioned before, that run it as a separate agent, a separate tab or background, what's on it.
Right. So here's the list of things. Okay.
Now, for example, one thing you might want to do in the future version of that prompt is somehow to store some information somewhere so that you say, you know what, this never.
Say that again? You broke up.
Otherwise, it will repeat it.
Right. So it gives me a list. Now, this is the thing I've been fighting with. Like, to me, each one of these 5, 6, however many there are here, 6, 7, 8. Let's assume that I was going to do all 8. I don't want to do all 8 right now, right? Because I actually want a separate PR for each of these pieces of work.
Normally, what I would do in similar situation is that I would now instruct it. Let's say that I have a prompt, or if I don't, let's say that I don't have a prompt. Create an issue for 1 to 7, or for all.
Right.
Right? And so you have issues, and then PRDs, call it whatever you want. And then you can work on them whenever you think you should work on them.
Right. So let's assume that I can do that. Now, this plugin actually uses Jira, which I don't want it to open up a Jira issue. So if I wanted just to create something local for me, like a work
just
item.
Say kind of create PRDs for each of them in ./PRDs directory.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not sure whether it works dot without slash, but go for it. That would be, no, it depends. Do you want .PRDs or PRDs directory?
I guess a dot doesn't matter, right? It's just...
Yeah, in this context, I meant dot more like current directory.
Dot slash. Duh.
That's
what you meant.
Slash,
okay.
There we go. That's what I meant. But that's up to you.
Okay. No, that's fine. Okay, so sure. Let's see what it does. Because I'm curious now.
Now that would be some later date another prompt, so that you actually have instructed how to create those PRDs, right?
Right.
What you want to contain in those, but baby steps.
Right. So this is the part that I hadn't really clicked on before. And it's beginning to make more sense. Just having it write, like having it create the to-dos made sense. But now having it create
as instructing a colleague what to do for you.
Right.
And colleague does not necessarily know how you like things to be done.
Right.
Kind of fetch me coffee. I mean, there are probably 50 varieties of coffees I might get. Cappuccino, I don't know, with milk, short, tall, no sugar. If you don't say it, he doesn't know.
Right. So it would be interesting to see. Let me open up an editor so we can see this here. That one, file, open. What were we doing? Oh, right. There we go. Sorry, I'm being a little slow there. Okay, let me pull that back over here for now. I'm just going to say, yes and don't ask again for now. For this, it's like, just give me. For this one, it's like, yeah, it's close enough.
You see that now that it tells you how to accept edits, you can press Shift Tab to change the mode at any time.
Oh, okay. So it's like, oh, you know what? I didn't mean to do that. So I can, that will get me out.
Right now, I want to accept it. Press Shift Tab, and you will I think that there are 3 modes.
Okay. Well, that's interesting. So let me do that while it's running. Plan mode.
Now, be careful, because when it finishes, it might decide to start implementing the first one of those.
Oh, okay. Well, you
can always touch the changes,
Yeah. Well, I'll just leave it on, and and having it stash is very interesting because it writes a really nice stash message. I did that yesterday.
Oh, yeah. You have no idea how many obscure Git commands I learned got acquainted with in the last couple of months.
Yeah, I can't understand, but I can have a glimpse of what you have run into, just of the little bit I dealt with yesterday, or day before yesterday. All right, so I'm going to come back over here. I am going to basically wait till. Go ahead.
One interesting thing that in theory you could do is that if you connect Claude or Cursor or Copilot, whatever, to that Git repo, you can actually instruct them to create PRs for all of them.
Correct.
Just in the background. It's working. And then you go back to those PRs whenever you want. I don't do that, to be clear, because for me it's much easier, much harder to review the whole work than, steps. But there is that option.
So I'm as we're sitting here doing this, what's interesting to me is we were talking about Claude Code having the sub-agents recently. And I could see having a business analyst sub-agent that writes these PRD, that's super smart about writing PRDs.
Yeah. PRDs, for example, is a good example of something that you can do it in non-supervised mode, because it's not necessarily that I will very often I will actually go into details and start tweaking the PRD when I start working on it, right?
Right.
So for me, it's really important thing about PRD is that it gathered information about the problem, which it usually does. Solution, it might suggest in a PRD, might not be the right one, but I deal with that when I start working on it, right?
Right. Okay, let me let it save 7, and then once it gets started on 8, now I'm going to undo the auto accept. Right, and let it finish here. And then we'll take a look at what it wrote in the PRDs, which I just looked at one off to the side. I mean, we can see a snippet above, but I want to see the whole thing.
Take a look, or you can go crazy and say, explain me PRD1.
Well, we'll do both. So in fact, we'll go ahead and take a look at one here. Get rid of that. So we'll go to PRDs, which was created for me. I didn't create it. Well, I told it to create it implicitly. So if I take a look at this, is that big enough? No, I need to go one more, I think. That's better.
There we go. That sounds correct.
Problem statement, current state, proposed solution, technical approach, success metrics. Holy cow, I couldn't have written this. Period. Like,
if you remember in one of the previous episodes, I'm pretty sure I said kind of, nobody ever wrote PRDs as writing them now. Kind of like, in my life, I never wrote as detailed and good PRDs as I'm writing them now. Not even close.
And you're not writing them. You're massaging them.
When I say,
right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. So do I want to save that? All right. So
And
yes.
Now imagine that kind of, if this is what you got by just saying write PRDs, if you had a proper prompt with, all the instructions and so on and so forth, then the results would be even better.
Right. So it's like if the optimize command had a little bit more plus, go ahead and create PRDs for me for each of the things that you find.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to create the README? Oh yeah, sure. Why not? Just, oh no. Sorry, I kicked you out. There. This changes it. I mean, whether it's good or, because I'm not writing code right now. That's the key part to this, right? It's like, now I can go and read these. It's like, are these reasonable?
I'm going to play devil's advocate. What is code?
Ooh, code is whatever a machine can interpret and do something with.
And was machine now interpreting what you wrote?
Machine was interpreting what I wrote and gave me back based on its knowledge of what
but
it can do.
You just instructed machine what to do. Is that code?
Yes. Yes. It's a command, so therefore it's code.
Yeah.
Yes or no? Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Exactly.
I can't tell if you're tricking me or not. Okay.
No. I'm saying that we can debate now, enter into nitty-gritty details, kind of like, is YAML code, is Python code, is this code. But if you define code as a way machine to do something, you just wrote code.
Right.
In your case, the last code that you wrote is a throwaway code. And what you wrote before when you created a prompt, that was not throwaway code.
Right. Okay. So we looked at one of these, but now you're saying I can just have it explain it to me. Right?
Yeah, usually after PRD,
Yeah.
I go into discussion. Okay, explain it to me. Can you tell me what can tell me the design or principles or what you're going to do and so on and so forth. I enter into conversation, and whenever we disagree on something, I would tell it, okay, now update the PRD, right? By the way, you could have written number.
I know. I could have done that. Okay, so, oops, there we go. Singleton with empty list and yes. Immutable, they're more memory efficient. Use factory methods to eliminate wrapper header. Okay, that's fine. Immutable by default, sure. memory efficiency. Okay, so why do you think, I'm just going to go with this one. Why do you think concise expression is important? Right? Doing a ternary versus an if. It's like, I don't necessarily agree with that. I do.
There we go. Exactly.
But it's like,
and then kind of, if you come to a different conclusion than what's in that PRD, update.
yeah. So thinking. Okay, it's interesting. So this is the first time I've seen thinking before. Oh, because I said think.
This is basically, now it's going back and forth with the model.
Right.
You know, basically, agent does not do anything. Agent does only instructs. When you wrote that last sentence, it sent it to the model. Model responded, and potentially maybe now model instructed the agent, fetch this code, for example, right?
Right.
Or what to do. So it can be multiple back and forth between agent and the model.
So in this specific case, I think conciseness is beneficial because logic is simple. It's a straight binary choice.
You can normally jump in. This is of the great thing is being internal.
Yeah.
It's communicating with the model, but basically the answer for you is that.
Right. Okay. So right, challenge this, blah, blah, blah. And then it restates what it basically said there. Yeah, that would be harder to read, yes. Developers, better semantic clarity. So instead of concise, better principle would be... so although I understand, I don't like ternary operators. Therefore, stick with if then.
There you go.
Update the PRD as necessary. Because I'm assuming I would need to say do that.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it would just be memory at that point.
Yeah, unless you could theoretically, but that's not reliable. You could have written before whenever we come up with some change of the plan or whatever, update PRD, but that's not guaranteed that it will all do, right?
Right. That was one thing that I ran into over the past couple of days, is like it just wouldn't get there. So I finally just went to the point of go ahead and update the ClaudeMD or README. Just do that for right now because I can't deal with it. I don't want to forget about it, so go ahead and update it for whatever we're doing. So, okay. And those are okay. I think that's fine. I mean, in this case, it would have been fine with a ternary. It was simple enough. But I figured, okay, let's see. To play out what you were telling me, let's see what it would actually be like. Because all the other things are important, I think. And he's and PRD focuses on that and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
And then if you're happy, then just let's do PRD X.
Okay. Go ahead and implement. Actually, let's do.
It's very forgiving of the typos, so don't worry much about that.
Yeah. Do PRD number 3. Okay.
There we go.
And then again, we wait. But are we waiting?
I mean, this depends. Will we get to this faster without it?
Probably not today. I'm just going to accept the changes.
It would probably take you more, unless you know this plugin by heart, it would probably take you more time just to locate the file.
Correct. That's the key part to this. Is like this one, could I have done it if I knew it cold? I could have probably done it faster. But
yeah,
I'm not in and out of this one every day. So
And this was a very, very simple change. In some other cases, it
Yeah.
would be like, okay, just change 200 lines of code. And now we're waiting for tests, which you will be waiting in any case, assuming that you're running the log.
Yeah. And it failed, and then it'll
Very
say,
often,
this is cool too. All right, so it did a stash. So it's like, hey, let me make sure they actually worked before.
yeah, there we go.
Right?
There we go.
So it's like one of the things that I think one of the first commands should be, hey, do all the tests pass before doing anything? That's like,
yeah, I mean, that's assuming that you're not, you're letting code be merged to the main line without passing tests.
which I'm not. We're almost at the top of the hour. Holy cow. Oh, this is another one of those JUnit 5 things. I may have to go back and deal with this some more.
Yeah.
We'll hang out here for just another minute. Otherwise, we'll bail on it. So if you've been watching this going, what are these guys thinking? This is me still trying to figure out what the heck to do. Right? That's really what's going on. Tests were already failing before the change and blah, blah, blah. Okay, well, no, I'm just going to say no for now. So that's where I'm at right now. Thanks, Victor. That helped clarify some things. Actually, let me go back here for just a second. I'm going to pull.
From in general I feel that they're very often a bridge between this sucks and oh my god.
Yes,
You
it's
write
one or the
those
other.
prompts really well, kind of. This is really the process, right? Or usually don't want to write prompt single prompt for everything, but this is how we do X. This is how we do Y. This is how we do Z. Detailed. If you give it detailed instructions, because very often the rejection is, oh no, I would do it differently. Yeah, how can it?
Yeah. It's like the commands, like what we used to vacillate between here and here, right?
Yeah.
But now it's like this. It's like we go from.
You need to put it back. You need
back
to put
this.
it back to the exactly.
It's like it's a half pie that we're, because my emotions go from holy cow, this is the great. Oh, it's just back and forth.
Think of it this way: you just hired a person to work on those plugins, and you just said, "Go work on those plugins." Right? There is a very strong chance that that person would do it. Wouldn't create PRs in a way that other people in your team are creating them. You wouldn't do things in a certain way and so on and so forth because you just said, go do something to that person, right? And that person would likely do it whichever way that person is used to do it, which might not match how that project is being done. So you need to be more precise with that person.
Yeah. So to put it in context, looking at just the right bar over here, this is how much of a PRD it wrote. That whole thing, right? It's for real count, it's 136 lines. I couldn't have written 136 lines. Not in the time that it wrote it.
You know, the thing that I like the most, or that entertains me the most, is the timeline. It very often puts timeline, and it's always the timeline. It's the time it will take you with it. It's probably the time that it would take you.
Yes. If you knew all the things.
Yeah, kind of. But it's not its timeline. It's almost like a hidden threat. Kind of, if you do it without me, this is how much it will take you.
It needs
Beware.
Actually, did I already exit? I didn't. Let's see. I notice in the timeline for PRD 3, it takes 4 to 6 hours. How long would it take you and add that to the PRD.
No. Stop.
Stop it.
Add that to the prompt.
Well, this is, I don't have a prompt.
Okay,
I only have
you can do it to the
optimize.
PRD if you. Yeah, because sorry, you're right. I forgot that you don't have a prompt.
Because when we did
for this.
optimize.
Yes. So,
Yeah.
repeat.
Okay. By the way, up arrow, down arrows, all that stuff works. For me as an AI assistant, that would be significantly faster. Okay, so let's see what it says. So it says 2 to 3 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, code review immediate, total 10 to 15. Okay, so let's drag that over just so we can see it here in the editor. So human developer, so yes.
There you go.
But it's not, that's true, right? Okay, the code review. Okay, because this is, again, we're doing this live on YouTube, so I can go back and watch this and piece it back together afterwards. That's the other reason why I'm doing this live. Yes, a human needs to be involved with you, so factor in human time during the code review stage, right?
Yeah, or all stages, yeah. By the way, it always says that you're absolutely right. You're
Even when
never
I'm wrong.
Yeah, you're never wrong. It's very obedient slave.
Okay, so here it is. So total human code review, 30 to 45 minutes. Which in this case is probably about right, if I had to guess.
There you go.
That's just, it's almost like now I need to write, it's like, give me human developer timeline, AI assistant timeline, and straight AI timeline.
Yeah, kind of like, because maybe we will let it run on the ground, or maybe I'll work with it. Situation type.
Right. That's pretty funny. Anyway, that's where it's at. So we'll be back next week. I can't remember what's coming out on the podcast next week. That's edited a few weeks ago now. So
It's going to be
I don't know.
something.
Thanks, Victor. By the way, was this helpful for you, Victor, or was this you were just telling me what to do again? Am I the AI now?
I've been through those stages. I've been through those stages before, yeah.
The thing I liked about that is having the PRD written for me. Like it finds the things, but then it was like, it would tell me enough. It's like, oh yeah, go ahead and do that. Versus, okay, give me a PRD and let me look at the PRD. Not that I need to, but.
I mean, that alone. If you say, okay, kind of like, if you're in an organization that, I mean, every organization has some kind of PRDs or requirements or something kind of, that alone is all worth subscription.
Right, because even, I'll show the screen one more time. Even if it's going to take 4 to 6 hours to do this, I've got a PRD with pretty much everything that I need.
And think of it also, this is the best example, to be honest, because this is very contained, this or that, right? It would be even more useful if you would, let's say that you want to start thinking about the new feature. And then you would have a discussion, should we do it like this? But users that and stuff like that, right? You would have probably 1 hour back. And after that, you would have everything recorded.
Yeah. It's worth it. Even if it's not doing the code writing for you, right?
Exactly.
If you're not getting AI slop, at least let it analyze what you're doing. Again, mine's a refactor. Your case you were talking about is greenfield. That would probably take longer to have a conversation and think through ideas. But still, you have a PRD. Now the PRD can be, okay, do I want to do this or not? It might be worth it. Yeah, I like this part. This is useful. So anyway, thanks everybody for being here with us live today. And we'll be back next Friday. Podcast comes on Wednesday. You'll have a video on Monday. I imagine next Thursday we'll be back with Scott on the AMA on AI and DevOps Toolkit channel. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. What's going to happen when the next thing happens? Are you just going to keep on tacking on things, and it's going to be a buzzword channel?
We'll rename it kind of. I don't know anymore to.
Okay. All right. Thanks everybody for being here, and we'll talk to you again next week.